Hey y'all, this is Urs, and welcome to a preview of our next LP series I'm wanting to do, shoving it right in the middle of one that's currently going on, but that's how I do things. This time we'll be featuring a civ called the Thracians by a very prolific user named Viregel. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering that name. Someone correct me. Ugh, if you know how to pronounce that. But another active user of the modding forums on Civ Fanatics and in the Civ 5 community. So this was coded by him. Our very own art consultant, Jan Boruta, contributed to the conception of this Civ in a big way, as I understand it. But compounding those two interesting things, it was also released in a collection of Civs known as the aptly named More Civs collection. So those links to both Viregel's Civs and the More Civs collection under which this was released will be in the comments, so you can check those out. And there's a lot of Civs there for you to sink your teeth into. But the Thracians, right, if you're not a big fan of ancient history, you may not have heard of these guys, but this is warlike, tough people hailing from the lands where the Bulgarians now exist, so kind of southeastern Slavs, good fighters, good skirmishers, and as you can probably guess, we are going back to our ways of fury and conquest. And how? Because I plan to see if I can make a honor start work. Yes, that's right. You heard it here. We'll be using an honor start with these guys. We'll probably unlock tradition just to get that initial growth for the opener and then jump right to the honor tree and get our conquest on early. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And one of their events and decisions actually, kind of mitigates some of that happiness issue. You'll see how that works from the early honor tree, since you don't really get a lot of good happiness policies. We're going to kind of use that to mitigate the weakness of the honor tree, which I think is honestly happiness, and see if we can really make use of our military and get some really good shots in on our opponents early. So, all right. First of all, led by Citalices, I'm not really sure. The Thracians, the unique ability, units fight better near barbarian encampments and earn Golden Age points from killing barbarians. Interesting. Upon capturing a city, all units within 2 tiles of the city receive bonus XP. I'm not sure if this raises with the strength of the city. I played a couple rounds of this Civ, as I usually do, just to test out how it works. I got maybe 10 to 15 experience on all units within 2 tiles after taking a relatively weak city, so I'm not sure if this scales up later in the game or if it's always a flat bonus. I'm not sure. But we will explore that and find out. Their first unit is the Falksman. He is a swordsman replacement. Essentially, this is a guy who gets 25% combat strength when attacking, minus 25% when defending. So this kind of flies in the face of the way I normally build my melee units. Such that I normally build them as damage soakers / terrain takers, so they kind of get double cover, medic, and just basically take shots so my ranged units and cavalry can clean stuff up. So these guys would be really useful, I think, in an offensive role, so maybe I'll build my infantry differently. Maybe have a core of these guys who are straight up promoted to go to march and just start really ripping face. So this could be fun, different way to play. I might build a couple of these guys to see how they go. Here, though, is the reason I'm really excited, or one of the reasons I'm excited about the Thracians. This is a composite bow replacement. Yeah, so whenever you hear composite bow replacement, and composite bows being like already one of the best units early game in the ancient era, you gotta know these guys are gonna be pretty good. And this is a pelotast. You'll hear this term used also in Greek and or primarily Roman texts, basically for skirmishers. And this is exactly what these guys are. They are not bowmen, but javelin tossers. And the key issue is here that they gain a combat bonus when adjacent to an enemy unit, so they are essentially really good against melee units. They're much tougher than the average bowman, and also can move after attacking. So that last bit, kind of good, because you can get that bonus, take a shot, and then move afterwards, because the attack actually takes only 1 movement. The other good thing about this early, when you're doing a composite bow rush on a city, which we may do at some point, hint, hint, this is actually really good. Not in the sense of, wow, you get an earlier shot, but you can take that last shot and back out of the city range, so you get every little more damage that early on helps, and you get every last bit of the units. I hope that makes sense. If that was even English remotely there, I will be happy. So that's the Civ we'll be playing. As usual, we'll be on standard game pace, immortal difficulty, standard map size, and thank you so much for all your suggestions at the outset, at the Prologue. Spoiler alert, I had started that series already with a bunch of settings, so I couldn't employ those right off the bat. But I have taken them to heart, I have thought about it, and I'm going to run this map just to kind of show a different way of playing a Conquest-y Civ. Last time we played them on Pangeas, which is, I mean, I want to say call it easy mode, it's never really easy mode, but the easier way to do things is on a Pangea for a warlike Civ, because you can just use a military land unit just to go knock every capital down and call it a day. We're going to play on small continents now, so remember last game we played Immortal peacefully on a Pangea, which is allegedly quote-unquote harder, instead of playing on continents where a lot of people can't really get to you easily. And now we'll play a warlike Civ on continents where you can't get to other people. So we're doing this the hard way, and thank you so much for that suggestion. We'll be doing small continents with low sea level, I think. That was a really neat idea, and I'm really wanted to play around and see how the map goes out with that. So thank you to that awesome suggestion. We will roll that through. And yeah, that's the plan here. And just so you understand, my goal with these first 4 LPs was to show off different large sets of civilizations in the Civ 5 community that are generally compatible with a lot of the new modifications that are coming out, like events and decisions. There's Exploration Continued, which there's a whole lot of stuff in there I'm not even going to get into yet. We'll explore that one at a later date, because I need to get my head around that one first. And I've kind of done that. We started with Tomatech Civ. We've gone to JFD and Jan Boruta's collection. Last time we hit Liuji's Patria Grande. Now we're hitting Viregel's Civs and also the More Civs collection by virtue of the kind of the joint release / ownership of this particular modded Civ. So I kind of hit the highlights. There are more. I'm not saying that these are the only ones out there, but these are some of the big ones to get you started on exploring Civs that you may like. Not even ones necessarily I featured, but from those collections. And you'll be generally assured they'll be compatible with a lot of the other mods that we've been showing off. So that was my plan with these early 4 LPs, and this will be kind of that one in the series. But now, again, thank you so much for the suggestions of adding more modded Civs into a game. I'm cooking up something very special and a little crazy for the next LP after this one. This one should prove to be quite interesting anyway, starting with Honor and all that. But the next one is going to feature multiple modded Civs in a themed kind of game. I really hope you'll join me for that one. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been planning this one for a while, and I think I've got just the right ideas on how I want to approach it. So, oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So thank you again for all your suggestions. I'll keep incorporating them. I will likely randomize maps at some point. I may play on Earth at some point. So all your comments have been heard and duly noted. But I will be doing the small continents, low sea level idea here, because I really like that one. I've never tried that before, so I think that'll be fun. So join me when we follow the journey of the warlike Thracians to see if we can bend the world to our will and use these skirmishers to great effect. I can already imagine bazookas that can move after attacking. Oh, so exciting! Yes! All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this one. And I will get this game rolling as soon as I am able, and as soon as the Aymara finish their, what we hope will be a march to victory. If not a march, a peaceful coexistence to victory. And then we'll join up with the Thracians and see how their journey through time and space and history will fare. Yeah, something like that, right? All right, Advent Earth, thank you so much for joining me for this upcoming LP, and I will see you then. All right, till then.